All right, let me back up and show you guys this. So I have this in our garage, or our packed garage. I haven't done anything except for when we had to pop off, I was really nervous about the fuel line. So I just ran a quick fuel line. The other one was leaking pretty bad. I played around with some spare 5/16 that I did have. I think this tractor did come originally with 5/16. And I just hooked that up here. And it's not leaking currently, so that's good. So we're gonna give it another try while it's not leaking, because the battery and starter are right there where our bowl is. So very dangerous potentially, so I didn't want to do that. So let's give this another try. Well, I was definitely getting spark because I shocked myself on the test, which is good. So I take this carb apart. It was a real pain in the rear taking this apart, but I figured out that the needle was stuck, and it was stuck. Now again, I haven't taken this apart in about 3 or 4 months. Probably mid-spring. It's December right now, so it just sat. I could have done it. So I have it sprayed down, lubricated, and we'll see. I might change it out. All right, the needle, seat, and that seal have been replaced. Man, it was stuck in there. I don't know why I didn't change that before. Maybe I forgot. Maybe I forgot I didn't do it. So it's good to go now. It slides nicely in there. So now we should get some fuel to this carb, and we should have a running track. All right, so I had to take this carb apart again. I'm so disappointed I did not check this when I first took this apart months ago. I don't know why. I must have just forgot in working on our house. Well, it seems like we either had a leaky seat, but the seat was just put in, so that wasn't the issue. I thought the float needed adjusted. I've been adjusting it, and then I decided to shake it. And it's full of fuel. There's a leak on the float, so I need to get a new float. I have some tractors here on property, but none with this carburetor. So we sadly are dead in the water until we get this fixed. So I was trying to figure out where our leak is here, right there along this edge, sadly. So I'm gonna drill a hole in this, drain this fuel, let it dry out, warm it up and make sure it's dry. And go from there. We're gonna solder this back together. I don't want to wait for another float. Okay, so I drilled this little hole and I just let it drain out. I shook it, just kind of felt it and make sure nothing was in it. I'm gonna flush this out. I don't want that corrosive gasoline sitting in here. And I don't know if this is already leaking before it was parked. So I'm not sure what kind of crud might be lurking inside of this. So I'm gonna flush it out just with some water. And then I'm gonna rough up this so that I can solder this together. And it's about right here along this edge. So make sure you flush this out. Don't let that corrosive gasoline sit in there for years and years. It'll just eventually bleed right out again. All right, I have this thing cleaned up a little bit. So this float had a leak right along this ridge line. It's actually a little dark, so you can kind of tell where that's at. I drilled a small hole, little pilot hole there to drain out the fluid. I put it next to a heater to blow some air in there for a few hours, just to make sure everything was out of here, which it is. There's nothing else that I hear or feel in there. So then I roughed it up with some sandpaper to give me something for my solder to attach to. Now I'm gonna hook up my soldering gun and give this a try. This is something I have never done before, so I'm excited to give this a try. See, and I'll see if it holds. All right, so don't make fun of me, but I had to do some trial and error with this. And like I said, this whole ridge line, this middle seam was broken the whole way through. So this is my first time soldering. I figured it out like everything else. And then I went down and I sanded it all down, wire rolled it down. And I did a couple different float tests with it, with water and gasoline. Now it's holding. So I'm gonna put it back in and see if we can get this to work. If not, I have another one. Be in a couple days. I just figured let's try to use this one. Save some money, save us some time, and learn something new. So we'll see. Let's throw this back together. Working a quick compression test. Number one is we're just about 120, which is great. All right, next one is just at 120 as well. Next we're at 110. And our last one hit 120 as well. So we are good. We got great compression. All right, so a quick update here. I had the car back on. It's cleaned out. I had it sitting in a solution, carb cleaning solution for a day or two. I had that back on. I really wanted to test if the manifold was leaking. Any cracks in it? Is it leaking against the, against the engine there? Is the manifold gasket bad? Seems like it's not leaking there. When I spray starting fluid, it is popping off when I spray it around where the manifold meets the carburetor. I think there's a leak there because the carburetor is rated for a Super H or a 300. It's a little bit different of a style. So I'm going to hunt around for good prices on a correct manifold or correct replacement for this 49H. But I'm going to continue working on this. When I put my hand over the carburetor, the air entrance there, it sounds like it wants to go. It definitely pops off for me. I'm trying to just see if that's from leftover starting fluid or not. So I'm working on that. I rechecked timing. Timing's good. It is timed correctly. So timing is not the issue. It has to be the manifold, carburetor. Something in there is the issue. Carburetor's clean. It looks like it's leaking a little bit. I'm trying to see, but I can't reach the button and also look at the carburetor at the same time. But there's a little bit more like fuel moisture in there than I would like to see. So it's not draining or dripping out, but it's definitely wet in there. So I don't know if it's leaking around the main jet or not. It's hard for me to tell, but I'm going to continue searching that. So the issues between the manifold and the carburetor, why this thing is not going to idle right now. That's the issue. I'm going to continue working on this. All right, so it will pop without starting fluid, which is great. That's a big step up. So I know it's timed correctly. Now there's some kind of a drip coming on from the carburetor. I'm trying to figure out where this is coming from. Is there a leak somewhere? Is there an overflow somewhere? So I'm trying to figure that part out. I was worried that it was getting closed in here. The governor wasn't correct. This governor setup is definitely correct. I mean, no doubt. It might need a little bit of tuning, but I mean, nothing's changed on it. So I don't think it does need any tuning, but this is set up correctly in there. It's inside the spines in there. And I've done it a lot of times. So that's definitely correct. So I think this butterfly here is opening and closing properly when I need it to. So I thought it might be like restricting everything, but that's okay. Now it's dripping from here more than I've seen recently. So I want to try to figure out where that is. If I can put the camera down here and try to start it and see what I can, bear with me here. Hold on, let me see if I can get a good picture here. I can get a good picture. I think I can. Okay. The starter's hot. Well, that's cool. So it looks like maybe the main fuel jet is leaking now. I don't know if it's been that way. I don't know if it's been leaking and there's not enough fuel getting up, enough mixture getting up. That could be an issue. It's definitely loose though, from what that video showed, I think. It's pretty hard to see. You guys saw it. You tell me what you think. But I'm pretty sure that that's loose or something's going on in there, which is some fuel's leaking out of it. Okay, I got some more light in here. I put this carburetor back together, tighten down that main jet. I'm thinking now that it's going to draw enough fuel that's going to stay idling, stay running. I got it to pop off. It'll run for 5 seconds or so, but it just hasn't been able to stay. And I think that was our issue. Now let's see. I got some extra light in here so I can show us. All right, let me just make sure this is on. Neutral. All right, let's see what we can do here. Okay, it's gonna run, it's gonna run, it's gonna run. Holy cow. Whoa. All right. Is this gonna stay running? Okay, so here it is. Wow. Wow, it's running. That is awesome. Wow, first idle in 19 years. First idle in 19 years. Wow, let's check this oil pressure. Okay, my light. Oh, we have great oil pressure. see if these tires are gonna hold air, and we'll go from there. Okay, well, I'm excited. All right, so both tires have aired up a little bit. You know, I got them off the ground. I'd like to do it a little bit more in a safer, you know, outside if I could get it there. But, you know, they are aired up. This one was really bad. Oh, I hear a leak. Oh, is it coming from the stem? Oh, man. So this one has a leak. Coming from the stem there. Looks like the stem. So there's the stem leaking air. I can find a cap for it. Alleviate that leak, maybe. Okay. But all right, I already moved some stuff here. What I'm going to do is push out this old cub, everything around it, make some room. I want to try to back. I can go through the gears in the H. That's okay. Let's see if I can get it to actually back up a little bit so that I can remove the 2 front tires and replace those, and then see if I can just back it on out of here. That'd be great. That's the goal. So let's see if I can move this out of here, just push it out into the snow, and go from there. Hopefully this will work. All right, so to get most things out of here, I'm going to show you guys I did get the H backed up. It goes into every gear. Tires are flat in the front. So it was a pen. It kept dying on me, which makes sense. Struggles to get out after its front tires are bare for so long. But this cub here is frozen in gear, it seems like. So the gator won't pull it. Nothing else starts because it's pretty close to 0 degrees outside. So I might hook this up to my truck and see if I can just drag it out of here, because this H will get out of here. Now, I lended my jack out, my car jack out, so it's not on the property. I do have another jack. My grandfather has it. So I tried to use a transmission jack to jack this front of this tractor up. Wouldn't have it. So I have a bottle jack I'm going to try with some wood. I just wanted to see if I could get this moved first, which I did. Let me show you guys. So I do have it moved. Let me squeeze through here. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. So we're removed from there. This jack didn't work. And look at this tire. Oh my, this is where it was sitting. It was sitting sideways underneath this old cabinet here. This other divot here, there's still some good mud on that. And then this tire, look at that. Whew. That's 19 years of sitting for you. So it will move. I just now have this in my road. So I'm going to try to get my truck, I guess, and try to drag this thing out of here. I'm just really worried about this thing running into my truck if it breaks free from being stuck in gear. We'll see. It's the next day. Cub's still stuck. I wasn't able to get it undone yesterday night. So I took this shift cover off to try to put this into neutral manually. I'm not sure where neutral is. From pictures I've seen, I think that is neutral on this Farmall Cub, but still nothing. Feels the same. Engine's tight here. So I'm going to go ahead and drain this at the bottom and see what we get out of here. Maybe there's some water. Now it's 45 degrees. It's no longer 10 degrees from last night. It's warmed up a lot, so maybe this will help it. Let's see. Wow. Totally frozen solid. Look at that. Totally frozen solid. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, not going in there. Let's get the torch ready, I guess. I'm currently just torching this, so we'll see how long this takes. All right, as the cub is thawing out, the whole thing is caked in water, so it's thawing out. I'm jacking this up here. Just have my bottle jack, block underneath, bottle jack, piece of wood here. I've seen videos of jacking behind. This plate here for the oil, it's a pretty good spot for it. So we're lifting it up. We're gonna get these tires changed. Got the bolts loose, hoping these new tires will fit.
took this thing straight out of the garage with the help of my brother, just clearing the way for me. And I took it straight down along our path here for our horse here. So I'm really excited. It's moving, it's driving, it's going through all the gears here. I think this is second gear. I think it has 4 gears, this tractor. The new tires wouldn't work. They wouldn't fit correctly on this, sadly. So I actually ended up airing up the old front ones. Somehow they worked. And so we are driving now. This is awesome. This is the first drive of this tractor in over 19 years. And yes, I'm gonna put the hood back on. I forgot to do it before it warmed up. I waited till the evening to work on this because it didn't get to a higher temperature until the afternoon. I spent most of the day working on cleaning out the transmission on the tub to get it cleaned up, get the water out of there, which I did do. It's moved. We'll drive past it. Tires held air. This is the one that I thought was gonna not hold. I'm really shocked. Yeah, both old tires. Yeah. Carburetor manifold, yeah. Take a look at that. Huh. It's also not hooked up, so that might be it too. It might be drawing air. I have it pretty tight.
Oh, you're running the better than me.
Yeah.
You do all kinds of shit to run your mouth, dude.
Wow, that's really exciting to get this going. Make sure I can get that to stop. Right. See if they work. All right, so both tractors are out of here. Pumped up for this. Look how bad this is. So now I get to help clean out all this. I'm gonna throw that hood back on. And awesome. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. Really appreciate it. It's been an awesome journey bringing this thing back. I can't be happier. I mean, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 generation tractor. So really cool. Hasn't left the property since 1951. So just amazing. Great to bring it back. Next video will be giving this thing a wash down and giving some boiled linseed oil to make it pop a little bit what can go. So thank you guys.